Hello. This is Corrine from the North Balford Library with Lake Van Library Region, and we've changed locations for today's Boredom Buster. So, as you may know, yesterday, May the 4th, is Star Wars Day. So, what I thought might be fun to play in kind of to that theme is making your own lightsaber crystals / your own lightsaber. So today we're going to be making rock candy. Ergo, why I'm in the kitchen, because I'm going to be cooking some stuff. So rock candy is actually super simple to make, and it's a little bit of a science experiment. So we should have fun with this. So what you're going to need for today, you're going to need sugar, and you're going to need water, and then you're going to need a pot, because we're cooking stuff. Also, you will need skewers, clothespins, and a cup. And then afterwards, you're going to, if you want, you'll need food coloring and some food flavors. So in my instructions, it does say to use a glass jar, but we're gonna see what the difference is if we use a plastic cup instead. Let's get started. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to put your 2 cups of water into a pot and slowly bring it to a boil. Parents, this is where we need your help. While the water is coming to a boil, let me show you what we're going to do with the skewer sticks. So because I'm doing 2 colors, I have 4 skewer sticks and a glass of water, a bowl of green sugar, and a bowl of orange. You're going to dip one end of the skewer into the water and then dip the wet end into the sugar. You want to make sure it is well coated and then leave it to dry. The sugar covered skewer must be completely dry before the rock candy will form, because you need to have a base of sugar on the skewer for the crystals to form. Do this to all of the skewers that you are going to use for the rock candy. We're just going to set those to the side and kind of let them dry. And I'm going to keep them in the sugar just so that hopefully they get a little bit more sugar on top of them. So now we're waiting for our water to boil. So again, this is why you are going to need some parental guidance or parental supervision with this. So what we're doing is we're boiling 2 cups of water, and then we're going to add 4 cups of sugar. So very sweet. So once we have it brought to a boil, then we're going to slowly add in 1 cup of sugar at a time. All right. So now I will measure out 1 cup of sugar. And then pour that into the boiling water. And then stir it until it is completely dissolved. All right, so our water is beginning to boil. Measured out 1 cup. And I am actually using teacups for this because it's easier for me to hang on to. But because it's double the amount of sugar than it is to water, as long as I use these to measure out my water, I was fine. So what we're basically doing is we're trying to super saturate the water. So we want to add so much sugar into it that the sugar doesn't dissolve in the water anymore. That's why we need it boiling. Stir and stir and stir. All right, is this looking fully dissolved? I think so. So let's add in our 2nd cup of sugar. Coming back to a boil, which is always a good sign. So we're going to add the sugar in again. And then let's stir it. Let's add another cup of sugar to this. It is actually starting to slightly change color. All right. So it is taking a little bit longer for the sugar to dissolve, which is what we want. All right. There isn't a whole lot of sugar left in the bag, so I'm just gonna dump that in at the same time. You know me, I'm never too exact with my measurements. Helps with the experimentation and adds to the fun of it, right? All right. All of the sugar is completely dissolved, which it looks like it's just about there. And then once you have all of the sugar syrup dissolved, you need to let it cool for about 10 minutes. But while we're waiting for it to cool, that's when we will get our skewer sticks ready to go. I'm just gonna wait for this to come to a boil again just to make sure, and then let it cool. There we go. All right, and turn this off. And we're gonna remove it from heat because it is bubbling now. All right, so we're just gonna put that over there and let it cool for a bit. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our cups, separate them out, and because these are plastic cups that are brand new, we know that they're clean. What we're gonna do is we're gonna put a little bit of flavoring into each of the cups. So, because we're going with the Star Wars theme, we're gonna make green and red. So, are you green a Jedi Padawan on their way to becoming a Jedi Knight? Or are you a Sith and you're embracing the dark side? So I've got lemon in these ones, so I'll add the green to that, and I've got cinnamon in these ones, so I'll add my red to that. All right. So if you're only making one color / flavor, you could add that directly into your syrup water, but because I'm making two, I'm just gonna add it directly into the cups and stir them a little bit. So just then swish, 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 swish. Right. Then hopefully your sugar covered skewer sticks are fully dry. And now what you're gonna do is you wanna put those skewers into your cup. So how you do that is you put a clothespin onto your skewer where it is still clean, and then you place the skewer into your cup once it is full of sugar syrup. You don't want your skewer stick to be touching the bottom of your cup or the sides, otherwise the crystals will not form. Let's see how it fits in the cup. All right, so our syrup has cooled. Our skewer sticks are completely dry. So what we're gonna do is we're going to pour some of this hot, warm syrup into the cups, and then we'll put the skewer sticks in. So Alright, so we're going to take this and we're just going to very carefully pour some of this in. So as you can see, I've got it most of the way full. I'm just going to move that to the side for the time being. We'll do our Jedi color first. And then we'll do our Sith colors, nice red. And then do this one as well. All right. And now we're gonna take our sugar sticks and just kind of shove them into our cups. So Sith first, because those are the ones right in front of me. So we have 2 Sith, and then our 2 there we go, 1 and 2. So now we just have to sit and wait for our crystals to start forming. So you want to leave these in a cool, dry place that's semi-dark. So I'm going to leave them here in the kitchen. And then what you want to do to make sure that no bugs or anything get into them is you just want to cover them with the towel or with saran wrap or something just so that they don't get things. One thing to try and keep in mind is you don't want the sticks to be touching the sides of your cup or your jar at all, because then the crystals don't form properly. So kind of as I'm moving them over, I'm just checking to see about that. So crystals should start to form in the next 2 to 4 hours, but you can leave them for a couple of days, even a week if you want to. It just depends on how big you want your rock candy to grow. In my instructions, it does say if you've let it sit for 24 hours and you don't see any crystals growing, what you need to do is you need to pour your syrup back into a pot, boil it, and add more sugar to it, and then re-sugar your skewers and then put them in. I hope you guys enjoyed this slightly different location. Sorry, it's a little bit awkward. And I hope you have a great rest of your day and stay safe out there. May the Force be with you. Bye, everybody.